Hi everyone. Today is a great day because somebody sent me a video by a YouTuber by the name of Praveen Mohan and asked me to debunk it. And I looked at the video and I thought, why would I debunk this? This is a very influential YouTuber and they're making very serious statements about the state of technology in ancient India. Why would I debunk them? I'm a huge fan of ancient India and whatever chance I can have to learn about ancient India, I will take it. So here is me completely in the camp of Praveen Mohan. I'm going to use his methods and learn as much as I can about ancient India through its architecture like Praveen Mohan does. So let's look at his latest clip which is about cell phone technology in ancient India. Mind blowing.
What is this girl doing? Is she using a cell phone? Look at that, right? She's holding a slim rectangular device right next to her ear and mouth, just like how we use a cell phone today. But this temple is at least 1,000 years old. So how is that possible?
A cell phone? No, come on, Praveen. That's a bit far-fetched, don't you think? I think it's much more likely that this person was punched in their face and they're holding an ice pack to their face. Like put a bunch of ice cubes in a towel, fold it up and hold it to your face so that your muscles become, number to the pain. I think that's what she's doing. It's very clear. I don't know how you reached the conclusion that that was a cell phone, but it's very clear if you just look at it very carefully that that person is holding an ice pack to their face.
Look at this woman. Again, she's holding a thin, flat, rectangular device in a position just like how we hold a mobile phone. What is that device? What could that possibly be? Many experts argue that this is just a mirror she's holding. But no, I will show you the carving right next to this one. This is a mirror. It is bigger. It has a handle to hold. She's directly looking into the mirror. This one is definitely not a mirror. She's not even looking at it because we don't look at the phone while we're doing a voice call, do we?
I think you're right, Praveen. We all know that it is impossible to hold a mirror in your hand without looking at it. The moment you pick up a mirror, your face is automatically attracted to it and you can't look elsewhere. I'll pick up a mirror and show you. See, I can't look away from this mirror. This mirror has attracted my attention to such a great degree that I can't even look at the camera as I'm talking to you. This is well known in scientific circles. This is what mirrors do to you. It is not possible to look away from a mirror while you're holding it. You have to put it down in order to look back at the camera.
Here's another carving I found in the same temple. Look at this figure. What is she doing? She's keeping a rectangular gadget in a position as though she is leaving a voicemail. This is exactly what people do when they leave a voice message on WhatsApp, right?
Praveen, what are you saying, man? Look at the image carefully. It doesn't even look like someone is sending a voicemail. It looks clearly like someone is shaving their face. This is clearly an image of someone who was using an electric shaver to shave off their beard or some kind of facial hair. Why is this so difficult to understand? Your methods are sound. You are using the methods that any historian should use. Look at one thing and compare it to what another thing looks like and then come to the conclusion that they're both the same thing. It's a very good method, but the conclusions you are reaching are so bad. This is an electric shaver, man, not a mobile phone.
On the left, she appears to be using a cell phone. Even more weird, on the right, she appears to be using an iPad or a tablet, and she even has a stylus or a digital pen and seems to be working on that device.
Now, Praveen, there is a logical error in your conclusion. And that is that the company Apple was incorporated in the 20th century. So it is highly unlikely that an iPad could have been available to someone from ancient India 5,000 years ago. I think it is much more likely that the image you are showing shows a lesbian couple. One of them is making a grocery list on a notebook and the other is so tired of going to the market that she has put a literal piece of wood in her ear to not have to hear about all the groceries that are needed. I think you're reading too much into it. There is no iPad there, it's just a domestic squabble.
According to modern historians, ancient Indians did not possess such advanced devices. According to them, 1,000 years ago, or let's go back 5,000 years ago, Indians lived a very primitive lifestyle using simple tools like sticks and stones.
Wait, what? That's not at all what modern historians say about ancient India. According to modern historians, 5,000 years ago, India was home to the Indus Valley civilization. And they had far more than sticks and stones, my friend. They had advanced civilizations in the form of cities like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. They had urban planning, they had trade, they had granaries, they had indoor plumbing and drainage systems. I'm beginning to suspect that you may not be an expert on these matters, Praveen Mohan, because no expert would have made a statement like this. And because I'm beginning to suspect your credentials, I also may have to go back and check all the things that I said and concluded on the basis of your methodology. Maybe this is not a phone or an ice pack. Maybe both of these are indeed mirrors, just like the historians say they are. Maybe it is possible to create a work of art where someone is holding a mirror but not looking at it. Maybe this is not a phone or an electric shaver because, there were no electronics anywhere in the world 5,000 years ago. Maybe this method of looking at things and saying that they look like other things and therefore they must be the same thing is not a great method to do historical research with. Maybe, just maybe, you have absolutely no idea about the things you are discussing.
So, in my mind, there is no doubt that ancient Indians were using very advanced communication technology. But what do you think?
There may not be any doubt in Praveen Mohan's mind about the fact that ancient Indians were using advanced technology. But there is a little bit of a doubt in my mind. And that doubt has to do with the fact that I don't know what Praveen Mohan is doing. Is he a simple minded fool who doesn't understand that in order to come to any conclusions about cell phone technology in ancient times, you will need so much more evidence than simply comparing two images? Is he someone who genuinely doesn't understand that you will need evidence of satellite technology? You will need documented evidence of technology being built and put into use in ancient times? Or is he someone who does understand all this and still chooses to lie about history to his audience? To his audience, mind you, not to you, not to me, to his audience, people who trust him. Is he someone who is deliberately lying to his audience about history to get views on YouTube videos? Now, I know some of you who are fans of Praveen Mohan or at least sympathetic to the kind of pseudo history that he and people like him peddle might say to me that I am a victim of Western propaganda and I cannot think of India as independently capable of reaching technology. And my answer to that would be, let me give you something to think about that you have probably never thought about before. And it has to do with colonization. It has to do with how our thinking is shaped by our history of being colonized by the West. It is not at all the case that ancient India did not have technology. I just told you about cities like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. We had technology, and that technology had to do with urban planning, with plumbing, with trade, with architecture, and linguistics. We still have to decipher the script that the Mohenjo-daro and Harappa civilizations have left behind. It was technology and it was high technology. It wasn't a Western kind of technology, sure. And that is where the problem arises. Because for people like Praveen Mohan, India isn't good enough. Unless India turns into Europe and all the things that Europeans and the West do, India isn't good enough for them. His approach to history, Indian history, has been shaped by Western conspiracy theorists. He doesn't know it, and perhaps you, as his fan, also don't know it, but it is you whose minds are colonized. It is you who is unable to think of India independently. It is you who think that unless India's ancient past becomes full of cell phones and WhatsApp and voicemails, we are not good enough. We have to become like the West in order for you to think of us as advanced or even worthy of being talked about. Historians don't simply look at one thing and come to conclusions about it based on its appearance. They compare multiple sources of information. Sure, they look at architecture, but they also look at books written by people about that architecture. They look at what other people from other civilizations knew about technology in those times. Through the study of a lot of sources, they make a comparative analysis of the most likely state of being in any period of time. The study of history is a glorious pursuit and everyone should try it. But it is worth understanding that one of the key aspects of a historian's work is disambiguation. Not everything that you find has a true meaning. Sometimes you have to sift and tell the difference between truth and fiction, between history and mythology, between fact and fiction. Praveen Mohan is not a historian. He's a tourist with a selfie stick. He is unequipped to handle this kind of academic rigor. Looking at walls, taking pictures of them, and putting them in a YouTube video with a conspiracy theory to go with it is not historical research. That was it. That was it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you are not a subscriber, please click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I put up my next video. I am Vimoh and I will see you in the next episode.